Once upon a time, in the picturesque African village of Odo Odo, life was idyllic. The village was renowned for its enchanting maidens, who were the dreams of young men far and wide. Among these fair maidens was Adaku, who grew up in Odo Odo, and found herself wed to the remarkable Kalo, a man so strong and brave that the villagers sang his praises with fervor. For over 15 years, Adaku and Kalo lived together, but there was a void in their life: no children. This absence of offspring weighed heavily on Adaku's heart, keeping her awake at night. Desperation gnawed at her, pushing her to seek a solution. Kalo, on the other hand, remained untroubled, believing that children were a blessing that would come in their own time. Adaku's torment led her to shun the public eye, fearing ridicule from her fellow villagers. It was her close friend, Niehaku, who suggested adoption. Adaku embraced this idea, leading her to adopt a girl from a neighboring village named Ugochi. Ugochi was showered with love and care by Adaku, who treated her as her very own. This new addition to the family brought joy, and Ugochi fervently wished for Adaku to have her own child one day. Finally, Adaku's wish came true, and she became pregnant, giving birth to a beautiful baby girl named Chidera. Adaku doted on Chidera, often referring to her as my princess. But with Chidera's birth, a stark transformation came over Adaku. Her love for Ugochi turned cold, and Ugochi's status in the household deteriorated. She was relegated to the role of a servant, responsible for all the household chores. Ugochi's life revolved around early morning trips to fetch firewood and water, followed by late nights. Adaku even stopped Ugochi from attending school, insisting that she focus entirely on taking care of her precious princess. Chidera grew up in the lap of luxury, showered with extravagant gifts and clothing by her parents. She was exceptionally beautiful, and her beauty was her pride. She carried herself with an air of superiority, disdainful of the village's other maidens. Chidera believed she was destined for royalty, refusing to entertain the thought of marrying a mere farmer. Her father, Kalo, the village's most renowned hunter, went to great lengths to ensure Chidera's happiness. She possessed a remarkable collection of clothing and accessories that far outshone those of the other maidens. Her beauty had the power to make men vie for her heart. Chidera's obsession with her appearance knew no bounds. She gazed at her reflection in a mirror brought from the city, basking in her beauty. She proclaimed herself as the village's most beautiful maiden, repeatedly belittling her peers. The household revolved around Chidera, with Ugochi serving her every need, no matter how menial. Ugochi's existence had become one of servitude, and she toiled tirelessly for her adopted sister. Every year, the village celebrated the Yam Festival, where maidens showcased themselves to attract potential husbands. Chidera had no intention of finding a husband at the festival. Her goal was to draw attention with her beauty, believing that no villager was worthy of her. In contrast, Ugochi attended the festival, and her desire was to find a hardworking and humble man. Her modest aspirations clashed with Chidera's royal fantasies. Numerous wealthy suitors vied for Chidera's hand in marriage, with some coming from distant villages to woo the beauty. Chidera, however, spurned them all, reserving her heart for a prince or king. Ugochi, in contrast, accepted the proposal of a kind and diligent farmer named Amadi. This unexpected twist drew scorn from Chidera and her parents, who had previously rejected Amadi's offer to marry Chidera. Amadi's decision to marry Ugochi was a source of laughter and jest in the village. Chidera's parents, far from being embarrassed, cheered on their daughter's pursuit of a prince and encouraged her to continue rejecting any suitor they deemed unworthy. To everyone's surprise, Amadi revealed that he was not just a simple farmer, but a king in disguise. Ugochi was shocked, and exclaimed that she was unworthy of such a revelation, considering herself a mere village girl. Hamadi expressed his deep affection for Ugochi, and they were married. Adaku, Chida's mother, scoffed at the marriage, viewing it as a humiliation. She advised her daughter never to settle for less. As Ugochi and Amadi embarked on their new life together, Chida's parents continued to mock the union, considering Amadi a useless farmer. However, the truth soon emerged that Amadi was not the humble farmer they had presumed. Upon her arrival at Amadi's kingdom, Chida was confronted with the unexpected. She found herself in the midst of a lavish kingdom, but the journey there was far from what she had envisioned. Chida's sense of entitlement emerged when she insisted on having 130 servants accompany her. She claimed she couldn't cook, wash dishes, or perform any household chores. In her mind, she was above such mundane tasks. The shocking reality dawned on Chida as her demands led to the gradual disappearance of her servants. On the arduous journey to the kingdom, her entourage dwindled from 140 to just 2. Chida's anxiety and restlessness grew as the days passed without reaching their destination. Her concern intensified when the final 2 servants also vanished, leaving her alone with Prince Amza's men. Desperation gave way to fear as Chida sensed that something was amiss. She soon learned that she was not married to a prince, but to a beast. In a daring act of survival, Chida seized a moment of vulnerability and fled from Prince Amza, hitting him with a stick. She ran deep into the forest, realizing that she had been trapped in a perilous situation. Chida's frantic escape revealed that she had been living a fantasy, married to a creature she had never fathomed. Her journey to the kingdom turned out to be a harrowing experience. Chida returned to her village, a shadow of her former self. She was no longer the pampered maiden who had once looked down upon her fellow villagers. Her parents were disappointed by her inability to adapt to her new reality, recognizing that they had failed to provide her with a proper upbringing. Chida's arrogance had crumbled, and she was humbled by the harsh truth. In a surprising twist, Ugochi, the unassuming and humble maiden, found true love with a hard-working farmer and secret king. Her modest desires had led her to a genuinely fulfilling life. Chida's aspirations for a prince or king had led her down a treacherous path, culminating in a dangerous encounter. In the end, it was Ugochi who achieved happiness and true love, while Chida learned the hard way that not everything that glitters is gold. The tale of Chida and Ugochi serves as a poignant reminder that the pursuit of superficial goals and relentless ambition can lead to unforeseen consequences. It teaches us that true happiness often lies in